Hi, welcome to Health and Safety Assignment 1. Task 1, Guide. Okay, this whole unit is designed so you can actually do it independently. You don't need teacher input, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it up, and I'll show you how I set it up through this way. This PowerPoint will show a model answer, and it will show how you can adapt it for your assignments, and what I'm hoping to do is break each one down so you can do that. So basically, the videos will be broken down for each task that you're learning for each section independently. This means it will explain what you need to do for each individual section. Okay, the first assignment has 3 videos covering each of the criteria and tasks. In the brief you will see there are 3 tasks, there are 3 separate videos which will link to each one. So 3 separate videos for each task. That is to be made very clear. Task 1, P1. Okay, you are tasked to create a quiz to be used in training sessions. It must contain questions or activities that will test people's knowledge on the legal requirements and regulations for ensuring the health, safety and security of those employed in the business. So put simply, all you have to do is to produce a quiz. Now I know you won't have ever produced a quiz before, so what I've done is I've modelled it within the PowerPoint, and I'll also show you where on the VLE you can get your information to help you out. This should help you out in quite a big way. Okay, 2 things. You must base your quiz around a business of your choice. I wonder which one that could be. It's worth choosing the college, I would say. It's quite straightforward and easy, and then you can use it for all of them. Please, please, please make sure that the quiz is relevant to the college. It is named and it's stipulated in the grading criteria, so it needs to be explicit. Okay, you must also provide both the questions and the answers for your quiz. So you have to actually submit both copies, the questions and the answers, and it must refer to each piece of legislation mentioned below. Okay, these are the pieces of legislation: Management of Health and Safety at Work Regulation 1999, Health and Safety at Work 1974, Workplace Health and Safety Regulations 1992, Reporting of Injuries, Disease, Dangerous Occurrence Regulation 1995, Control of Substance Hazardous to Health 1994, Electricity at Work Regulation 1989, Display Screen Equipment Regulations 1992, and Manual Handling Operations Regulations. What I would say, folks, is don't be intimidated by all this, because there is something magical which will help you through each of these sections and explain what each of them are sequentially for you. So you don't even need my input. What I would also say, folks, is with a law, any kind of law, make sure you highlight this bit. So it's always got a capital letter and the year. If it's a law, those are literary conventions, okay? Those are things which actually occur. Right, tools to help. I have basically placed the health and safety chapter in your textbook. Boom. On the VLE. You just have to click on it. It's downloaded as a PDF. I'll quickly leave the PowerPoint now and show you what it looks like. So this is the PowerPoint. This is what you'll get in the PDF. You can find this and access this at home. I've probably broken multiple bits of copyright here, but never mind. If you see Management of Health and Safety at Work, Health and Safety 1974, it has all the explanations that you need and that occur. You just have to basically write them and explain what each section is. It's quite nice and straightforward. So basically you just have to condense that chapter into 12 to 14 questions, which will essentially give you and cover all the key criteria that you need to mention. Okay, how to make a quiz. This is a bit you need to know about. An example of this. Okay, this is one that I did according to the Health and Safety at Work Regulation 1999. Notice that I capitalised it. That HTS College should highlight a risk assessment that HTS College produced should highlight. So I've linked it to the college as well. A problem that business has. Identify the hazards in the workplace, evaluate the seriousness. So you have to highlight the correct statements. This will be your question paper. So this is an example of a question that you would give out to someone. The answer paper, as I've made it here, is I've highlighted the two questions which are correct, B and C. Okay, that is an example of how you do it. You will need to produce both the questions and the answer paper, not just one or two, but both, because otherwise I won't know, or whoever's marking it will not know what you don't know, but you just need to submit both. I'd suggest you do it in a Word document, make it nice and easy. They could literally just circle this or highlight it, it doesn't matter. It just needs to be seen as this is the correct answer. You could also do something like filling the blanks, so to produce a risk assessment, what key features, so HTS College wants to produce a risk assessment, what are the 4 key features which a risk assessment should contain, Health and Safety at Work Regulation, here there's 4 bits, 1, 2, 3 and 4. I will leave it, all you have to do then is fill in whatever the correct answers are. You can actually find that quite easily within the textbook. I won't show you that, but it is highlighted in that section of the textbook, and you will get the 4 answers, and you could easily put in the 4 answers. Okay, your quiz should be at least 12 sections long. You should use all the relevant legislation from the brief, and it should also be placed in a Word document. What I would also suggest is that you show both the questions and the answers, because that is a big deal. So questions and answers. That should give you enough information for task 1. It's now up to you to produce that piece of work.